here are the ones who are going around at the moment. That's what you see on the screen there. The people who are going around now are some of the aspirants going around with their delegates as well, and the supporters going around at the moment and appealing and doing their final appeal to the delegates to vote for them. So the groups of people you see going around are the aspirants with their supporters, the supporters who are delegates as well of the New Patriotic Party. Over 6,000 delegates we have as gathered in here, and that they are also seeking the mandate of the people here at the Accra Sports Stadium. This is your election command center. Stay with us, and that's what's happening there. You see much of activity as expected there, and with the various people who are arriving at the moment. The various delegates have been grouped into their regions, and that's what we see at the moment duly represented. And what is expected to happen is that the moment the vice president arrives, the vice president will arrive shortly. Well, that's what we're hearing. We will also have the president as well arriving shortly, and then the national executives, the current executives of the party, will then also take their turns to tell the gathering here what they have been doing over the period and how they have been able to work for the party. Now, I've been joined here by Eric Chum Amwako, who is a national organizer hopeful. He's coming up against a number of persons, including the current or outgoing national youth organizer of the party, but he believes that the delegates would give him the mandate to lead them as the national organizer of the party. Eric, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's great to have you now. So, you're coming in as a national organizer of the party. I spoke to the former president, John Ejekum Kufuor, just a few days ago before today. He talks about the deep-seated factions within the party, which can hurt the party's chances going forward. If you win this, you're going to have the mandate of organizing the rank and file of the party. How are you going to do this?
Well, thank you very much. I've always been a unifier. I believe that politics is about preferring divergent views and also making sure that people's views are heard. Yes, if you have deep-seated factions, it might affect the the unity within the party. I believe strongly that we need a candidate like myself who will be able to bring the various competing factions together to work solely based on what the constitution of the party says, to allow for people to be divergent in their views and also express views that are not necessarily the norm. But again, that's why we do politics, to ensure that people are given that room to do so. I believe that we need a new face for the party, even when it comes to how we communicate and collaborate in nation building with the Ghanaian people. And I believe that after the conversations that we've had with the party people, we'll be given a mandate to lead in a national organizer front.
Many who make the point that the rank and file are disgruntled, they are not happy. And that was evident in the outcome of the 2020 elections. Now, the party is confronted with another challenge. You say you want to break the 8 with the disgruntled rank and file of the party. How do you intend to address them to believe in your quest to break the 8 in 2024?
Well, I mean, what is apathy? Apathy or disgruntlement for me is essentially some kind of dissonance that has to be managed. People's expectations definitely would have to be calibrated, and then also find solutions to sometimes very basic issues or challenges within the various constituencies. I believe strongly that if we're able to do that and then speak to the conscience of the party people, we'll definitely be able to communicate that mindset that yes, we are in it together. Even if we have challenges, it's important that we close ranks so that we can be able to prosecute the campaign going forward in 2024. That, again, dovetails into this whole conversation as to the kind of personalities that we decide to choose as national leadership, who will take the party from where we are today to do something that, as far as I'm concerned, is unprecedented in breaking the 8.
Now, finally, you have not just the leadership or the personalities that you talked about to work towards you achieving that objective of breaking the 8. You have to also contend with the government's performance as well. Because no matter how competent you are, you will still have to ride on the competence or the performance of the government of the day. How challenging has it been for you defending government in the midst of all the crisis?
Well, we have to tell our story. We can't talk about challenges or exigencies within the economic landscape without talking about where we find ourselves today and the reasons why we are grappling with some issues economically. And I think that if we're able to tell our story and empathize with the Ghanaian people, they'll be able to understand where we are coming from and give us another mandate. Because I've always been saying that we've always had a better story to tell in terms of how we govern. Yes, you would have to empathize with people who are facing one challenge or the other by virtue of the fact that we're going through these economic issues. But I believe strongly that if we close ranks, if we are united as a political party, we put the right people in place, we'll be able to break that jinx of a 2-year term and proceed to win come 2024.
Thank you so much. Eric Chum Amwakon is hoping to be elected as the national organizer of the NPP. He seeks to replace Samia Wuku, who is not contesting. As a matter of fact, he says he's finished serving his term. He's currently the CEO of the National Lottery Authority. He's coming up against the likes of the outgoing National Youth Organizer and 4 others who have put themselves up for the position of the national organizer of the New Patriotic Party. Now, stay with me. Frederick Opariansa, who is the General Secretary hopeful of the New Patriotic Party, is joining me. He's a 4-time Member of Parliament for the Sum constituency. Now, he served in the rank and file of the party. He knows exactly what the party feels, and he wants to lead the party as General Secretary. He joins me here. So, thank you so much for joining us. This is your election command center. Now, you want to lead this party as General Secretary. What exactly are you going to be doing differently to serve the people and the rank and file of the party who are disgruntled at the moment?
Thank you very much. I'm sure I can take time to answer your question. I certainly do have several reasons why I'm contesting. But if you don't mind, we want to get a program underway, and I don't want to delay it any further. They are calling the candidates to come so that the program can get underway. We are already several hours behind time. As soon as we get underway, I promise you, I know Election Center is live here. I'll come right back so that I can have adequate time to talk about the things that is pushing me to come and lead this party. So if you indulge me.
I definitely will, but there are those who make the point that, look, it's going to be difficult for you to communicate to the Ghanaian people. It's not just the party to want to break the 8. Really, with the current performance of government, what is going to change ahead of 2024 for you to want to...
There is no doubt that it is going to be difficult for any party that has done 2 terms and is seeking a 3rd term. But so was it difficult for me to do more than 1 term in Sunu, but I did 4. So let me come back and we will talk more about this, if you don't mind.
You believe you're going to win?
I will win.
You will win?
Yes.
You're sure about that?
I'm perfectly sure about that. But let me come back. We will delve more into this. I don't want to hold the conference up any longer, please. Thank you.
He has to go. He has to go. That's Frederick Opariansa, a 4-time Member of Parliament for the Suhum constituency, and also seeking to replace, and indeed he's contesting the current General Secretary, John Boedu, who is also seeking the mandate of the delegates of the New Patriotic Party to be retained as a General Secretary of the party going into the 2024 general elections. Now, we also have some persons as well who are not just aspirants, but they are also seeking to have an influence, an impact on the New Patriotic Party. What you're seeing on the screen now are the delegates of the party who are seated now, and they represent the external branches. You have the Eastern region as well, the Ashanti region, who are at the moment settling for the National Delegates Conference to start. The aspirants, some of them are still going around, rounding up their campaign here. But it's quite clear that it's going to be a keen contest amongst the persons who are putting themselves up for the contest of the New Patriotic Party. This is your election command center. We, at the moment, at the Accra Sports Stadium, bringing you all the updates and everything that's happening in there. You see the police service represented. There are about 3,000 police personnel who are here at the Accra Sports Stadium, making sure that there is law and order and they're able to keep the rules of this particular Congress in place. But that is not to say that they're going to stop the campaign from ongoing. We have the final lap of the campaign of the various aspirants ongoing at the moment. And I can see also Professor Christopher Amia-Konfi, a former Minister of Education, former Director General of the Ghana Education Service, a former advisor as well to the Minister of Education, a former lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. They're all here as well, going around to round up their campaign. So that's what's happening as well. And Sammy Crab as well has been cited here. Sammy Crab is one of the 7 people seeking the mandate of the delegates here to lead the party as its chairman going into the 2024 elections. You know the kind of relationship he's had with the party. In 2014, he was elected second vice chair. He was suspended in 2015 for comments that he is reported to have made, which did not obviously go down well with the party. And also the disciplinary committee of the party took the decision to have him suspended. As a matter of fact, he was not alone in this. Paul Afoko, the then chairman, and also Kwabena J. Japan, who served as general secretary. You had John Bwedu at the time then coming in and acting. He is seeking the mandate of the people to have him retained. Engineer Fred Aban is the director of IT at the Youth Employment Agency and YEA, and he is a member of the NPP Germany. He joins us here as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Great. Now, there are over 6,000 delegates who are here. One of the issues preceding this Congress was the call by NPP USA, for instance, to have the Electoral College expanded so that all card-bearing members in good standing would also have the right of voting. Your thoughts on this?
So, you know, the Electoral College can be expanded. However, it takes a conference like this to make such a decision. That decision cannot be made before a conference like this. So currently, we can't implement something like that until the national executives, in terms of the party as a whole, goes for a conference and makes such a decision. And then it goes into the constitution of the party. Until that is done, we cannot implement something like that.
But you are a member of the NPP Germany.
Yes.
And I'm sure that that is also an issue of interest for you.
There are so many issues of interest, okay? It might be, but then what is the general view of the majority of the people? That is what will come to bear at the end of the day. It is not what one section wants, but the majority of the party across board.
When you speak to the rank and file of the party, what are they telling you? How do they feel at the moment?
It is what the people want. It is when the people speak that this is what we want. And the rank and files listen to the people. They listen. There are people that listen a lot. So if majority are saying that, then it will be taken into consideration. Then a vote will be put. And if we get majority saying that let's go that direction, then we can go that direction. But it stands right now in our constitution, it is not there. So we cannot implement that right now.
It is not just about today. Today is the process ahead of 2024. What are you going to be doing?
So our main and core objective is to retain power in 2024, and that is what we are working towards. And so today's election is a preparation towards 2024, so that we will win and maintain power in 2024.
Thank you so much, Engineer Fred Aban. He is with the YEA. Now, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has just arrived, and that's what you see on the screen there. You have security personnel and then also party supporters who are accompanying the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, onto the Congress grounds at the Accra Sports Stadium. And he is cheering at the crowd and the delegate who are also indeed cheering back at him. And that is the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who has just arrived at the Congress grounds. And he has just reached the Eastern Regional stands, the external branches. The security are moving just to ensure that he is duly protected. That's the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, there moving with his entourage, and he is waving at the crowd now. That's the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who has just arrived at the Congress grounds. He's going to go around and greet all the delegates who are gathered here, represented with all the 16 regions across the country. And that's what the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is going to be doing at the moment. Now, with the arrival of the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, it signals also the arrival of the President.